This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Thursday, the 16th day of June in the year 2022. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting, and here's what we're tracking tonight. A decision by the chairman of the Guyana Elections Commission, retired Justice Claudette Singh, not to review the 2020 elections has gained the support of Vice President Barra Jagdeo, who described the opposition's move to have the review as nothing but nonsense. Back in February, opposition-nominated GCOM commissioners Vincent Alexander, Charles Corbin, and Desmond Trotman proposed an internal investigation to be launched into the events of the March 2020 general and regional elections, with a view to improving the systems of the commission to avoid a recurrence. The proposal was shot down as the chairman made a decision not to allow the proposal to move forward. At his press conference on Wednesday, the Vice President Barra Jagdeo said he believes the decision to not allow the review is the right one. Mr. Jagdeo said for such a review to take place, persons no longer in the employ of GCOM and who are before the court for alleged wrongdoings would be relied on for information. Jagdeo also said he believes that the matters which face the Elections Commission can be accommodated in the amendment to the Representation of the People's Act.
It's nonsense. It's before the court now, and then trying to link this review with support for the amendment of the ROPA. Now, clearly they don't want the Representation of People Act to be amended, even having gone through a public process, and everybody recognizes now that we have to put in place arrangements in Representation of the People's Act to avoid some of the things we've had.
The Vice President sees the attempts of the opposition-nominated commissioners for a review of the 2020 elections as an opportunity to oppose the framework of the electoral system.
So now they're talking about cleansing the list. That's their new word, cleansing the list. Well, removing people who constitutionally have a right, as the Chief Justice ruled, to be on the list, that's not cleansing. Cleansing can only deal with people who are who died and shouldn't be on the list.
President Irfan Ali, in his inauguration address, had promised a commission of inquiry into the 2020 general elections. Almost 2 years into his term, there has been no movement in that regard. More news coming up in just a moment.
How fast is fiber? Think fast. GTT Fiber has 3 packages with download speeds of 50, 100, and 150 megabits per second. That's fast enough to stream movies and music, to chat with Gran and Fran, to study, and more. What would you do? Upgrade to GTT Fiber today and don't get left behind tomorrow.
Doors and windows, Republic. Rooms and more, Republic. A brand new rug on the floor. Come to Republic, come to Republic. Whatever you need, you got it. Come through and get your mortgage. Live the dream with Republic.
95 to 100% financing, 50% waiver of negotiation fees, plus one lucky person gets their mortgage paid in full. Turn someday into today. Talk to Republic Bank about your low-cost mortgage today.
It was a long car ride home, and Kyla started to crave the all-natural Ripples Crunch. Ah yes, that was all she could think about. She thought she was dreaming, but it seemed so real. Daydream or not, the craving still hit, and she couldn't wait to rip into it. Sunshine Snacks Ripples Chips. Rip into 100% real potato goodness.
Sunshine Snacks Ripples. Rip into real potato goodness. Get in the game with Buster. Win a full gaming setup, Xbox X, gaming chair, gaming speaker and headset, or any of over 60 weekly prizes like Oculus Quest 2, Mini 2 drone, Nintendo Switch, and many more top gaming prizes. Check below for details.
Welcome back. The Alliance for Change today slammed the Guyana Elections Commission for refusing to conduct a review of the 2020 elections. Chairperson of the commission, Justice Claudette Singh, shut down a proposal of the opposition-nominated commissioners for there to be a review, stating that such a review would be outside the remit of the Guyana Elections Commission. In a statement today, the Alliance for Change, which is part of the APNU-AFC opposition, rejected the decision of the Elections Commission. The AFC said the Commission's move not to allow the review abandons its responsibility to conduct an internal review of the 2020 parliamentary and regional elections as recently announced. The AFC said it expected a routine examination of the performance of the electoral system, as well as an independent review of the breakdowns revealed in the national recount exercises, which infuriated many citizens locally and abroad. According to the Alliance for Change, the Guyana Elections Commission should be reminded that it has more than a statutory responsibility to manage the conduct and process of elections in Guyana. The party believes GCOM needs to also present a review at the end of the process to demonstrate the transparency and impartiality. The AFC said, given the reports of illegal activities and trauma surrounding the 2020 general and regional elections, and in particular the many accusations of fraud leveled on all sides, the party strongly recommends that GCOM reconsiders its decision not to conduct a comprehensive review. The AFC said the review should include personnel, structures, and all its systems leading up to, during, and after the election day exercise, particularly those surrounding the conduct of the national recount. The review, the Alliance for Change said, would be an essential requirement of true parliamentary democracy to conduct systems review following national elections, particularly in cases where allegations of widespread fraud, corruption, bribery, and conspiracy were charged. The party also drew attention to the recently published results of an International Republican Institute poll of the Guyanese people, which revealed that only 22% of those questioned believes that the elections results were credible, while 55% expressed dissatisfaction with the process, inclusive of GCOM's management. An East Bank Demerara business owner has been left counting millions of dollars in losses after a fire of unknown origin ripped through his complex at Grove this afternoon, completely gutting it. The fire service was summoned to the BR&T Enterprise hardware store in Grove just after 12 noon, after heavy smoke was spotted in the complex. The fire service responded in a timely manner, but the presence of combustible materials in the building assisted the spread of the flames. A woman who lives next door to Mika Braffett said she was inside her house when she started to see the heavy black smoke from the complex, and she immediately raised an alarm while leaving her home for safety.
I was inside, and I came to the front door and I saw some black smoke. And I go back inside. After I saw the smoke was getting thicker, I run back inside to see if I can save some stuff. But I heard some explosives start going on, and the whole house was full of black smoke. So yeah, my house. And I just ran out. I just grabbed my important documents and ran out.
The eyewitness said the quick response of the Guyana Fire Service prevented the fire from spreading to other nearby buildings.
Yeah, I think they did a good job, because it could have been everything. It could have been everything, because when I saw how thick the smoke was on the fire, I said that was it. That's it. That's it. Everything gone up in flames.
The building which housed the hardware store also housed 2 apartments, according to persons in the area. It is unclear where the fire started exactly. The Guyana Fire Service has launched an investigation, and that probe is ongoing tonight. On the same day that 30-year-old taxi driver Amir Inchinali was charged with the rape of a 14-year-old schoolgirl, the girl passed away at the Berbice hospital after ingesting a poisonous substance. The rape accused appeared at the Reliance Magistrates Court in Berbice on Wednesday, and he was charged with the rape of a child under the age of 16. In court, he was told that he was not required to enter a plea to the charge, since it was an indictable charge. It was reported in court that the alleged act took place on the 6th of June at Albion Quarantine. The child reported the incident the same day, and the accused was arrested. He was remanded to jail yesterday following his court appearance. This morning, the Guyana Police Force confirmed that a young girl passed away last night in the hospital, where she was a patient for several days after ingesting a poisonous substance. The girl's distraught family is crying out for justice. Investigations into the incident are ongoing. Tasked with investigating a drug bust matter, a police detective sergeant has found himself before the courts, being accused of stealing more than 3,000 grams of marijuana. Police Detective Sergeant Fernando Newman of the Criminal Investigations Department was marched before the Diamond Magistrates Court on Wednesday, where the charge of larceny by a public officer was laid against him by the Special Organized Crime Unit. The alleged larceny dates back to February of last year, when the police were involved in a drug bust along the Linden-Suzdijk Highway. The police found a large quantity of marijuana in a car, and the occupants of that car were arrested and taken to the Tamari police station after the arresting ranks turned down an alleged $2 million bribe offer. At the Tamari police station, the suspects and the marijuana were reportedly handed over to the police sergeant. Soko is claiming that the police sergeant never launched the marijuana that was handed over to him and is alleged to have stolen it. The marijuana was discovered missing 6 months after the bust. In court on Wednesday, the accused pleaded not guilty to the charge, and he was granted bail in the sum of $100,000. He will make his next court appearance in July. ExxonMobil Guyana announced today that a gas compression and injection system on the Liza Unity floating production, storage and offloading vessel has been commissioned in record time and is planned for startup mid-next month. The startup period, the company said, involves temporary, non-routine flaring to safely commission the production and gas compression systems. The Liza Unity FPSO arrived in Guyana last October and was undergoing commissioning. Last year, ExxonMobil increased its flaring level on the Liza Destiny FPSO offshore Guyana when a compressor got damaged. Despite efforts to repair and replace the damaged compressor, the flaring problems persisted, and an entirely new system was expected to be installed. The company is now confident that similar issues will not occur on its second FPSO.
The Liza Unity FPSO, since arriving in Guyanese waters in 2021, the team has been extremely busy. And as many folks know, that we did achieve first oil on target in February of 2022. And when we introduce hydrocarbons to the facility, we need to use that gas in order to commission the gas handling systems. And that has always been our main focus, to commission that system in order to get the background flare. And I'm so pleased and so proud that we have achieved background flare in April of 2022. And in fact, we did it in record time, beating industry average by almost half, and in full compliance with our environmental permits of meeting background flare within 60 days. So it's a phenomenal achievement, dedication by the team to ensure that we meet that commitment and deliver on our environmental expectations to ourselves and to the country of Guyana.
Exxon said the achievement is testament to its dedication to steady, safe operations and also demonstrates its capabilities as an industry leader. In addition, ExxonMobil has announced that a redesigned flash gas compressor for the Liza Destiny FPSO has arrived in Guyana for installation after extensive testing in Germany.
As far as the operation on Destiny, we've been squarely focused also on getting us to background flare. I think most folks know that we've had a challenge with our flash gas compressor on the Liza Destiny. We have now upgraded that design. We've got a new machine that's actually arrived from Germany. It's currently on the FPSO and getting installed. You know, the Liza Unity FPSO is injecting and compressing or utilizing 99.8% of the gas from the reservoir. We want to get to that perspective or that target on Liza Destiny. Liza Destiny is currently at about 96% of the total gas injected or consumed. So we're not quite to background flare, but this new machine will help us get to background flare, and we anticipate that sometime mid-July this year.
The company has explained that over the past few months, performance of the second and third stage flash gas compressor on the Liza Destiny has been stable, and more than 96% of the gas produced was re-injected and or used to power the vessel. ExxonMobil Guyana continues to work with the relevant government agencies to ensure compliance with regulations and responsible development of the country's natural resources, the statement said. The Ministry of Health will be seeking to procure COVID-19 vaccines for children below the age of 5 years old in the coming weeks when the vaccines become available. Last weekend, Guyana started the vaccination of children between the ages of 5 and 11 years old. So far, just over 400 children in that age category have been vaccinated against COVID-19. U.S. companies Moderna and Pfizer are expected to roll out their vaccines for children under the age of 5 in the coming weeks. The Minister of Health in Guyana, Dr. Frank Anthony, today said while the vaccine for young children is welcoming, access to procure the vaccine could be difficult.
Right now, there's a vaccine that is from, I think, 4 to 6 months that is being given emergency use authorization in the U.S. So that's going, they're administering that now in the U.S. We'll see how those vaccination goes. But like with all these challenges, it's going to be difficult to access it because they're limited quantity, and the developed countries very often would use these vaccines in their countries, so there's a scarcity in the global market. So I think it would take us quite a few months before we'll be able to access these types of vaccines.
Dr. Anthony said Guyana will continue to focus on the vaccination of children who are 5 years old and older and adults.
Right now, our focus is going to be on the 5 to 11. And again, once we're able to get a substantial amount of people vaccinated, by then maybe we'll see how the 4 to 6 months, 4 years to 6 months, the vaccines for that age group, when that will become available.
The Ministry of Health continues to encourage citizens to get vaccinated against the virus. Those persons who are already fully vaccinated are being encouraged to get their booster shots. Turning now to the world of business, the H Towers company today unveiled its plan to build a large mall in the Providence community along the east bank of the Marara. In a statement, the company announced that the H Towers Mall will feature world-renowned restaurants, an entertainment center, and scores of stores to cater to local and the visiting shoppers. Concessions at the mall will include a food court, clothing stores, jewelry stores, banking agencies, pharmacies, home furnishing and appliance stores, hardware stores, supermarkets, and an entertainment hub consisting of a variety of posh bars and restaurants. The mall, which is slated to open in 2025, will be located below the Sheraton Hotel and Residence, which will comprise 2 levels of retail stores, which will be equivalent to 63,000 square feet and more. When completed, the mall is expected to hire as many as 200 persons. Director of H Towers, Kerwin Bollas, said the mall will offer unique experiences for hotel guests, residents, and shoppers. Persons and businesses who are interested in leasing a retail space can do so by emailing htowersgy@gmail.com. That's htowersgy@gmail.com.
Farfan and Mendez is committed to promoting development through quality, service, and integrity. Customers are guaranteed genuine products, reliability, and excellence in service. Their corporate head office at Providence affords you the added convenience of a spacious showroom with secured parking. Farfan and Mendez continues to offer their valued customers a wide range of genuine and affordable German-engineered equipment. They're leading the way in clean, green alternative energy solutions with industry-leading brands of solar equipment. So visit their showroom at Providence and enjoy efficient and courteous service. Farfan and Mendez, offering you solutions you can depend on.
Doors and windows, Republic. Rooms and more, Republic. A brand new rug on the floor. Come to Republic, come to Republic. Whatever you need, you got it. Come through and get your mortgage. Live the dream with Republic.
95 to 100% financing, 50% waiver of negotiation fees, plus 1 lucky person gets their mortgage paid in full. Turn someday into today. Talk to Republic Bank about your low-cost mortgage today.
Buster. Win a full gaming setup, Xbox X, gaming chair, gaming speaker and headset, or any of over 60 weekly prizes like Oculus Quest 2, Mini 2 drone, Nintendo Switch, and many more top gaming prizes. Check below for details.
Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Tune up. Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Oil's Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Across the region tonight, Puerto Rico's governor has signed a measure suspending taxes on gasoline and diesel for 45 days amid the worldwide surge in petroleum prices. The U.S. territory currently imposes a tax of 16 cents per gallon of gasoline and 4 cents per gallon of diesel. The governor said an additional $25 million will be added to the government's general fund to make up for the loss of revenue as a result of the temporary tax moratorium. Officials say they expect a gallon of gasoline in Puerto Rico to reach $6 in the coming months. Experts blame the rising prices on higher crude oil costs and limited gasoline supplies following disruptions from the COVID-19 pandemic and partly from Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The government of Bahamas has announced that travelers to the islands will no longer need to apply for a Bahamas travel health visa to enter the country as of this coming Sunday. But the travelers will still need to show proof of a negative COVID-19 test taken no more than 3 days before their trip to the Bahamas. The Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Tourism in Bahamas, Chester Cooper, stated that a change in the policy sends a message that the Bahamas is open for business. Travelers must also observe on-island standards for mask wearing and social separation, in addition to testing negative before flying to Bahamas. Vaccinated travelers and children ages 2 to 11 must provide a negative PCR test or a rapid antigen test taken no more than 3 days prior to travel to the Bahamas. Unvaccinated travelers ages 12 and older must submit a negative PCR test taken no more than 3 days before their travel to the Bahamas. And finally tonight, international news. Australia's energy minister has urged households in New South Wales, a state which includes the country's biggest city, Sydney, to switch off their lights in the face of an energy crisis. Chris Bowen says people should not use electricity for 2 hours every evening if they have a choice. However, he added that he was confident that blackouts could be avoided. It comes after Australia's main wholesale electricity market was suspended because of a surge in prices. Mr. Bowen asked people living in New South Wales to conserve as much power as possible. Australia is one of the world's biggest exporters of coal and liquefied natural gas, but has been struggling with a power crisis since last month. 3/4 of the country's electricity is still generated using coal. It has long been accused of not doing enough to cut its emissions by investing in renewable forms of energy. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting and encouraging you to stay safe.